In this video we'll give you 7 signals to recognize a gold digger. So let's define first what a gold digger is. Basically it's a girl that she has no real interest in you, in having sex with you, in having a relationship with you, unless there is a financial benefit for her, okay? And in this video I will give you all the signals to recognize her, signals that I saw in my experience. I approached over 6,000 girls since 2015 until today, and so it's not a situation that I saw very often, but because if you behave in the proper way, you will not attract this kind of girl. So we will see also at the end of this video some behaviors to avoid if you don't want to attract this kind of girl. But let's first define like all the signals to recognize her according to my experience, and also since I live in Dubai. Yeah, okay, you understand. There are many girls in this way, but actually. I met like most part of my experience in dealing with gold diggers. I did it when I was living in Milan, Italy. Because also, even if I live in Dubai, if you behave in the proper way, if you go to the right places for approaching, you will not encounter in gold diggers. So the first signal is that she expects you to spend a lot on the first date. Also, a typical situation is that she wants to choose the location of the date. And then when you will check it maybe on Google, you will see that this is a very expensive location, or maybe if you already know that location, you will see that very often it's a very expensive place. For example, I remember it was still 2019, I was still in Milan, Italy, and I remember this girl, she was married, and she was a Russian girl. But she wasn't having a happy relationship, and she told me she agreed to meet me for a date, but she told me, okay, let's meet in this cafe, and it was like in a very expensive street with all the expensive shops, and so she also told me, so we will see how much you want me, or something like this. I don't know, probably I still have the screenshot somewhere. Let's see how much you're interested in me, or something like this. This is what I call also manipulation. She's trying to make you feel guilty, or let's see how much you're interested in me, and then men always fall for this because they have no skills with girls, and because they think that in this way you will get the girl. No, you're actually become the I don't know how to say, just the provider. This is the best word. You will become just the provider without never having sex, okay? You don't have to be the provider if you want to have sex with a girl. Then in the relationship you can also be a provider, but you also have you don't have to lose the attractive personality. You don't have to lose your confidence. You don't have to lose your funny personality. You don't have to lose your social intelligence. So you can also be a provider, but in the relationship, but not only the provider, okay? Otherwise, she will have sex with other people, and you will keep being the provider also in the relationship. But no, this is not the topic of the video, going in depth with the relationship part. Also, remember another crazy situation it was with another girl, always in Milan, Italy, still I think 2018 or 19 or something like this, and I approached this girl in a daytime situation. Then after a few hours, so I got the number immediately. After a few hours, she texted me asking, "Are you still around?" or something like this. And I said, "Yeah, I'm still around." And so I understood that probably she wanted to meet. And so I organized very quickly the date. And so I said, "Let's meet in front of this specific statue in the square." And I was there at the time that we said. And I saw her walking in the opposite side of the square. And I thought that she was coming to the meeting point, but I actually saw her that she was going to a bar, and she was sitting in that bar. She checked the menu, and then after like 5 minutes or something like this, she got up and she went to another lounge bar, or to another restaurant, and I was just following her to understand what was happening, like what the fuck she's doing, and because she didn't text me, she didn't say anything, I was just following her from the distance to see what she was doing, and she checked. Actually, I don't know actually what happened in details, but I guess when she stood up from that bar because the price was not expensive enough. Okay, so then she went to another restaurant, and that restaurant was more expensive. And then she sent me a message saying, "Okay, I'm here in this restaurant. Come here." I don't know where they learn these things, because you cannot just wake up in the morning and think to this strategy. So probably someone else told her this strategy, and nothing. I didn't go to that date because I already knew that it will also, if the girl is choosing the location and the location is wrong, you cannot sit in front, you cannot sit next to each other, but you can only sit in front of each other, so you cannot make a physical escalation. No touch, no sex. No touch, no kiss, no kiss, no sex. Okay, so also if the location is wrong, the date doesn't make sense. And also seeing the attitude before the date of this girl. I checked her Instagram profile, because I think we didn't exchange the phone number, but we exchanged the Instagram contact, and I saw that she was very, very hot. She was always traveling around the world in a very expensive places. Who is paying for these things? Probably not her. Maybe she's a very successful entrepreneur. Maybe I don't know. The chances are actually higher that someone else is paying for that. The second signal to recognize a gold digger is that she asks you, what kind of car are you driving? What kind of car do you have? Because this is actually an indirect question to ask you, how much money are you earning? Because asking it to you in a super direct way, asking it to you with a specific question, how much money are you making? It's too much. It's too direct. So they're asking it in this indirect way. Okay, I never heard it from any other girl asking me what kind of car I have. And by the way, I don't have any car. I don't drive. I was having it when I was living in Milan, Italy. Then when I moved to the center of the city, it was useless. Here in Dubai, I don't drive. I don't have a car. I use always a private driver or a taxi. And also, you don't have to be scared of saying this to a girl if you don't like cars, because I'm not interested in cars. I'm much more interested in apartments, but this is not the topic of this video. And sometimes when at my beginning of when I arrived here in Dubai for the first time, I was actually feeling a little bit guilty to say to some girls that, oh, I don't have a car. But it was just like a limiting belief. Girls, they don't care, so don't think that you have that you need to drive very like a supercar, Lamborghini, Ferrari, or these kind of things. Also, if you don't have a car, that doesn't matter. If you have a normal car, doesn't matter. So, but I only got this question only from girls that at the end they were gold diggers, or sometimes when I had to pick up girls here in Dubai, and maybe they were staying in another area, so I had to go to pick them up, and we will talk about this in a moment in this video. And so maybe they were asking me if I have a car, but they were not asking me which kind of car I have. So if she's asking you specifically which type of car do you have, it's a pretty obvious signal that she's a gold digger. Then signal number 3 is that she wants to order extra things during the date. For example, but be smart about this. If you just got a coffee for you and for her, and she just wants to order another coffee, it's not that she's a gold digger. So also be smart about this. But for example, if you are in a lounge bar, in a cocktail place, and it's very common that actually they didn't even finish their cocktail, and she wants to order another cocktail. Okay, so this can be a signal. And also it's very common that then when there is the moment for paying, they always disappear in the bathroom, or they go outside for smoking, or these kind of situations. That is actually okay. You don't have to make the girl pay especially on a first date. You will just ruin the situation in most part of cases. So it's okay for the man to pay on a date. But when I had dates that at the end the girl revealed that she was a gold digger, not because she said that she was a gold digger, I understood it at the end of the date or after the date. I always noticed this pattern, that when there was the moment for paying, they disappear, they go to the bathroom, they stay 10 minutes or 15 minutes into the bathroom, so they make sure that they have all the time for going to pay, or they go outside smoking and they stay out of 10-15 minutes, and so they make sure that I have all the time. Then signal number 4 is the so-called princess-like behaviors, like for example that she doesn't want to come on her own to the date, and this can be okay in some specific cities. Now I will give you a few examples, but it's the more of these signals you will recognize, you will see on a girl, the higher the chances that she's a gold digger. Okay, if you notice only one of these behavior, it's okay, it's not a very negative situation. The more signals you notice, the higher are the chances that she's a gold digger. So, and also for this specific signal, it depends in which city you are. Because for example, when I was living in Milan, Italy, no girls have ever asked me to pick them up by car, or that she wanted me to come to pick them up where they were staying, because in Milan, Italy, there is the subway, there are public transport everywhere, so it's impossible that she doesn't have a way for coming on a date on her own. And so I never got that request from a girl, like only with gold diggers. And also I remember specifically one of them that she was also staying outside the city, and I was living like 5 minutes away from the center of the city, and she wanted me to go outside the city to pick her up, and even if she have the way for coming there, and we go back to the manipulation. She told me also, oh, usually guys are always picking me up at my place. Okay, so it depends also in which city you are, because for example here in Dubai it's very common that girls they don't have a vehicle for moving. There is public transportations, but it's not like I don't know, for example in Milan, Italy, and so if they don't have a car, it's impossible for them to reach the center of the city. So they can use maybe the subway, but then maybe they have to walk a lot. The temperature is also very high in most part of the year, so it depends also in which city you are. If you're in a city that where there is a lot of public transportation, it depends also which kind of public transportation it is, but as I just gave you examples, so be smart and don't judge every behavior of the girl as a princess-like behavior. Then signal number 5 is that they think that they don't have to show any other qualities besides their beauty. Okay, in fact, the gold diggers are usually girls that are very hot, and they have a very strong ego about their appearance, their physical appearance. Also, I remember with one of them in the past, I don't know, we were talking about something, and at the end I told to this girl that in a scale from 1 to 10, for me she was hot like 8 out of 10. And I don't remember actually why we were talking about this, but we were talking about this. And I remember that she told me like, sorry, what did you say? And we stayed like 50 minutes talking about this, because she could not accept it, that she is not a 10 out of 10. Okay, so they have a very strong ego about their physical appearance. And also you can, for example, you can try to ask during the conversation, usually on a date, what are your top 3 qualities, and if she will answer like as the top quality, like her physical appearance, her beauty, yeah, there are very high chances that she's a gold digger. Or if she will say, maybe if she's saying one of the top 3 qualities, her beauty, it can be okay. But usually girls, if you make this kind of question, they will say only traits about their personality. Okay, so if she's telling you like as the first top quality, oh, that I'm very beautiful, yeah, very high chance that she's a gold digger. Then signal number 6 is that they don't have any life plans. If you ask them, usually they are like between I don't know, they can be also young, but in my experience they are always between 23 years old and 26. Let's say this range of age. There can be also exceptions, but in my experience they were always between 23 and 26 years old. And they usually have no life plans. They are still studying. They of course, for sure, they are not working, and they are usually studying or in university just for passion, or they are studying, but they are doing like courses outside the university, outside school, and they are studying maybe, I don't know, other things like psychology or things I don't know. I will not give you. I will not go in details, because I heard some stories that I could not even imagine. But it's useless for this video. So another signal is that they have no life plans. Then signal number 7 is the Tinder description. Now, actually, in these videos I never talk about Tinder. We're focusing more on meeting high quality women in your everyday life, so in daytime situations. But this can be just a bonus tip. You can notice it if you're also on Tinder, if you have ever been on Tinder. Sometimes, also this is actually pretty rare, okay, so you will not see this very often, but sometimes you can recognize from the description that she's a gold digger. I remember one girl that she had in the description, don't invite me for a coffee or for a cocktail. I don't like this kind of communication. Invite me for a dinner or for a travel together. I still remember. I have the screenshot. I will not put it in the video because I have to search it. But I remember this kind of communication also because it was a pretty recent date, like 1 or 2 months ago. And I actually already knew that this girl, she was a gold digger, but I said to myself, yeah, let's do this experience anyway. And this is actually a very good mindset to improve your skills very, very fast. It's a very good mindset, especially to have when you are a beginner. The mindset of do it for the reference, okay? You will improve your skills very, very fast, but I still have many times this mindset still today. Even if I already know that this date, it's bullshit, it's stupid, I know that I shouldn't go to this kind of situations and to this kind of dates, but I said to myself, why not? Let's do it anyway. And the first part of the date was normal. And then at the end of the date, she wanted. We were in a shopping mall, and she wanted to have a walk in the mall. And she entered in a clothing shop, and she was trying some shoes. And at the end of her trying shoes, she asked me if I can buy the shoes for her, and the price was around $400. Okay, and so usually when you are with a girl, with a normal girl, yeah, you will not get this kind of request when you're on a date. So now I will give you some behaviors to avoid if you don't want to attract this kind of girl. And I saw these behaviors many times in rich people. People here in Dubai, pretty much everybody has a lot of money, and also in past students, in people that they were just friends. And I saw these mistakes very, very often, and also other girls that I'm approaching and other girls that I'm having dates with. Sometimes they told me that they got approached in a certain way, and if you, for example, I will just give you immediately the first behavior to avoid. Don't ask for the phone number after 2 seconds, or after 30 seconds, or after 1 minute. Because the fact that maybe you're rich, if you're watching this video, maybe you are in this situation, doesn't mean that you can buy the girl, or that a girl, she has to be interested in you after 30 seconds or after 1 minute or something like this. Okay, and if a girl is giving to you her phone number after 30 seconds, after 1 minute, what kind of interest do you think she will have on you? Okay, because you didn't create enough attraction. It's impossible to will create enough attraction in 30 seconds or 1 minute, or in 1 minute. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's okay. I also got sometimes phone numbers after 1 minute, but not because I wanted to ask it after 1 minute, because maybe she was in a hurry, but usually when she's in a hurry and she's interested maybe in getting the Instagram contact, so I will display value on my Instagram profile, so so her interest will raise, and so the contact will be more solid. But I see it very, very often from people that they are approaching girls. They think, oh, I'm rich, so girls, they have to give me their pussy magically only because I'm rich, and they are inviting the girl immediately. I remember a girl that I had a date with around 1 year ago here in Dubai. She told me that before coming on the date with me, she was approached. It was in a 5-star hotel, because the date was in a 5-star hotel, not because I wanted to show off, okay, only because it was a good location for the date. And she told me that outside of the hotel she was approached from a guy that invited her to her apartment in that hotel. Okay, you will only be successful with this kind of approach with gold diggers and prostitutes. Okay, and if you're watching this video, I don't think you're interested in this category of girls. So don't ask for the phone number after 2 seconds. It will not be solid. It will be solid, yeah, with a gold digger or with a prostitute. With a normal girl, it will take more time. You have to create more interest, behaving in a confident way, in a funny way, having a conversation, and then getting the phone number. Also, other behavior that you have to avoid is that don't go around dressed super expensive. If you really like dressing in an expensive way, it's okay. Be aware that the chances that you will attract gold diggers are higher. Okay, I suggest to showing maybe your super expensive dress, your super expensive lifestyle after or indirectly. For example, if you have a supercar, if you have a Ferrari, Lamborghini, don't show up on the first date immediately with your supercar. Sometimes it can be okay anyway, but Maybe if you are going to pick up the girl because maybe she stay far away, go to pick her up with a taxi, or maybe send her a taxi. You can pay for the taxi, but don't show up immediately with the Lamborghini or with the supercar or whatever car you have. Let the girl see your car maybe at the end of the date, maybe when you're already invited to your place. If you after the proper date, maybe you already kissed the girl, you made a proper invitation, and then you're going to the parking and you have a supercar. But at that moment she's already coming to your place because she's interested in you and not in your money. So if you want to start dating new high-quality women you meet in your everyday life in just 90 days, click the link in the description below and schedule a free consultation call where I will create an individual step-by-step plan to reach your goal from your current situation.